What's up, you guys? Welcome back. Today we're doing a chatty get ready with me, and I answer all of your questions that you asked me over on Instagram. You guys asked them anonymously, so I have no idea who submitted the questions. But I also did this look right here. This is like a very kind of like a cranberry, warm, smoky eye. It kind of makes me think of that like cherry mocha trend, and I love it. I feel like it's very fall, perfect for this time of year. I used the Modern Renaissance palette from Anastasia. It's such a good classic go-to palette, especially for this time of year. I'm gonna do my makeup, walk you through it step by step, chit chat, answer your questions. They're all over the board. We're just gonna hang out today. Hope you enjoy. Please subscribe and let's do our makeup together. When I woke up this morning, it was 35 degrees outside, and last night we were so cold. We had to turn the heat on, which I don't think we've ever turned the heat on this early in the season, but we were so cold last night. So anyway, my upstairs got so much warmer than like the main level, and it is toasty up here. So I feel like, whew, like I want to open up the windows, but I live on a busy street and it's gonna be too loud. What do I want to do for foundation? Let's do the Chanel foundation. I've been loving this. I think it's so beautiful. I don't have on a self tan though, so I am gonna have to bring this like all the way down my chest because it's not going to match. I'm gonna use the Sigma F48. Such a beautiful foundation. I think I might get this in a lighter color just for, you know, days like today where I don't have on a self tan, because it's just got such a beautiful finish. I asked you guys to ask me some questions on Instagram, and I put a link for an anonymous app, and you can ask your questions and it won't tell me who asked them. Sometimes it's nice to just like be able to put your question out there without like knowing that the person knows who you are. So I'm gonna open those up and see what you guys asked me. I'm gonna use the L'Oreal Infallible Full Wear Concealer. First question, or actually there was a lot of questions about just the dog situation with my neighbors, and some people wanted like more info on it. I'm pretty much just gonna leave like the info that I gave as is, because I just don't want to give too much information. However, an update on the situation is I'm pretty sure they got rid of the dog. I don't know where. The day that happened, they told me that they had been trying to get rid of their dog, but none of the shelters would take him, and they didn't have any friends or anybody that would take him. But the next day, I'm pretty sure they got rid of him. So I don't know. I really don't know what happened with that. We just are not on speaking terms at the moment. I also got a lot of questions asking if I was going to be moving because of the situation. Right now, no. That's like a really big decision to make. Yeah, no. Right now, no. I would build a fence before I did that. But yeah, at least that's an update as of right now. Speaking of moving, the next question is, will it be hard to move out of the house ever since Ruben built this house? And for me, yes, there's a lot of sentimental value for me. Ruben says that he doesn't feel that as much that way. Maybe in the future when it comes down to us moving, maybe it will hit him. I don't know. Yeah, for me, like I could technically live here forever. I think I love this home. I love where we live. I just wish we didn't live, like, I wish this wasn't the land that we lived on, because number one, it's very tiny. Number two, it's on a busy street. Number three, there's no privacy. But like in my town, I like where I live. I can't see us moving into a home that's already built, but I also think that that's because of our situation. Ruben built our home with his dad, and just moving into a home that he didn't build would be so weird to me. I don't know. But yeah, I don't know. I'm not really much. It's funny, I was thinking about this when I was getting ready to like film today, and in my head I go, well, I'm not really much of a planner, which if you know me, and I've talked about it here as well, how much I love to plan, that's actually not true. But then I got to thinking about it, and when it comes to like big life plans, I'm much more go with the flow. Like I actually don't plan at all for that kind of stuff. It got me thinking about just like even my relationship. We just in general just went with the flow. We never ever in our relationship had like a sit down conversation about like where we're at and like what's next for our future. Like we just don't do that. We just vibe. And same thing with like how this house came about. It just kind of like happened. I don't know. So when I think about stuff like that, I feel like I just can't really plan for that, and I just go with the flow. But yeah, in like my everyday life with like my daily schedule, my monthly schedule, I'm very like, I like to plan things over and over and over again. But I got so many questions about the podcast. Hourglass Radiant Bronzer, by the way. To be honest, Amanda and I have been so busy. We've been so busy that we haven't even hung out together. We did go to Vermont together, but prior to that, I didn't see her for like a month, which is unheard of. I usually see her at least once a week. And not only had we not hung out, but we hadn't even like spoken about hanging out or spoken about the podcast or anything. Like it hasn't even gotten brought up just because we both have been so busy. Our friend Alicia asked us about it while we were in Vermont actually, and we both were just like, we are just so busy right now. So as of right now, there's no plans to start. Well, not that there's no plans to start up another season. Yes, we will do another season eventually. It's just like not scheduled in on our calendars right now. So when we decide that, I will update you because we both really love it. It really is just we both work full time, have our calendars full. You know, we have other things that take priority, and the podcast is a lot of fun for us. There's just other things that have to come first at the moment. When the time is right, we will definitely be back because we both really love it. And also I'd like to pick your brain about that if you guys are podcast listeners. I would love to, and I'll have to pick her brain about this too. I haven't even talked with her about it, but I would love to maybe do more like, I don't know, less curated content with the podcast because like I feel like all of the episodes we will come up with like a theme of what that episode will be. Like we're going to talk about this thing and then we're going to talk about this thing. It's like all a bunch of topics. And instead I'd maybe rather just like not have a plan and just chit chat. But I don't know because the way that it worked so well for us so far was we were able to like batch episodes because our schedules clashed a lot. So to get us together to film stuff for the podcast, it was nice to have like topics to talk about so that we could batch those episodes together. Because the other thing is too, because we're friends, I don't want all of the time that we're spending together to be work. You know, our friendship comes first and foremost. So I don't want the podcast to like be number one and take up too much of our friendship time. You know what I mean? So yeah, making things less curated makes that more difficult when I'm thinking about it and like how that would work out scheduling wise. So anyway, no plans for that right now. But don't worry, it will be back. Someone asked what my middle name is. It's Maria. I don't think I've ever shared that. My email is Brie Marie Fox. And I think, I don't know, something online is Brie Marie Fox. But I only put it as Marie because Brie Marie like went together. But my middle name is actually Maria. Biggest red flags for a girl. I'm guessing you mean like in a friendship. I mean, there's a million red flags that someone can have. I would say this isn't necessarily a red flag in someone, but I would say it's a red flag when you hang out with someone and every single time you feel just like every part of you is drained and you feel exhausted and you almost feel like you need to like recharge and recuperate afterwards. I always thought that I was an introvert because of that reason. I just always felt exhausted after hanging out with people. And even like days after, I would be exhausted from situations. And so for that reason, I just thought that I was an introvert. But it turns out when you surround yourself with people that uplift you and you uplift them, and it's just a good, you know, you're just surrounded by the right people, it's honestly shocking how when you stop feeling depleted, just how much of like a light bulb moment that is to realize that the people that surround you really do make such an impact. So yeah, I guess that would be like my number one because that is very broad and that's with all people, not just girls. Like it's everybody. If you're around anybody that just like makes you feel less than or you feel taken advantage of, you just overall feel exhausted. And there's a difference, and you know what I mean. There's a difference. It's not like you're exhausted because you were out all night having a good time and you need some rest. You know what I'm saying? Like that energy sucker of like all you did was just sit on the couch and hang out, but now you feel like you've given so much and they've taken so much and you're just exhausted. That's what I'm talking about. And maybe it's not even something that like they are doing wrong. A lot of times it is. That I would say would be a red flag to just look at. Just analyze that. Yeah, once you aren't around people like that, oh my gosh, your life gets so much better. Next question is about just kind of like the changes I've made in the last however long. And also I had lots of questions about like my mental health and how I'm doing. And also one in particular commented on just like how much happier I seem, and they said I'm glowing, and thank you for saying that. That's so nice of you. That really goes to show what's going on the inside really is reflected on the outside, because the fact that you guys can tell that I'm like doing so much better says a lot, and that means a lot to me. So thank you for saying that. So some of the things that I changed, I feel like this kind of piggybacks off of the conversation. Petey, I feel like this kind of piggybacks off. Peter! Literally put your dog on a fucking leash, especially if they're a German Shepherd. I have 2 people in the neighborhood that have German Shepherds, and they walk without a leash. And one of them, a year ago, ran after Pretzel. I'm up to here. Like, I am so happy to call the authorities. I'm like, I don't care if I'm a Karen about it anymore. Like, I'm pissed off. I've been attacked by a dog now. Dogs have come after, big dogs. Of course, they're always big dogs. Off a leash, coming after my dogs like a handful of times. I'm over it. I'm fucking over it. Like, if you are someone that walks outside without a leash on your dog, stop it. You are like, stop it. You're being so ignorant. Oh, it makes me so mad. I don't care how well behaved your dog is, like the one that was just walking down the street. I can tell that dog is very well behaved, and even that dog went after my dog. And yes, my dogs are very reactive. They will bark and they're yippy and whatever. That's why I have them on a leash. That's why I don't let them run around. And that's why your dog should be on a leash as well. Because if your dog comes up to my dog and my dog bites your dog, it's because it's in my dog's space. Anyway, sorry, rant over. Anyway, what was I saying? Oh, about how I'm doing so well. Some of the changes that I've made, it's really, when I think about it, it's very difficult for me to pinpoint, because it really was a lot of just, I hate to say it, like internal work, but like legit, like that's what it was. I think that when I went to therapy, I learned a lot about myself there, and a lot about just my upbringing that helped me realize why I was the way that I was. I feel like that's like all I needed, really. I have so much compassion for my parents. One of my favorite quotes that I've learned recently is like, your parents are living life for the first time. And it's like, yes, that is so true. Like, I think that we just always think, you know, our parents just know everything, and they really are just like doing this life for the first time. But yeah, just like learning all of that stuff helped me understand why I am the way I am, why I had friendships the way that I had them, why I showed up in friendships the way that I did, because I would have a lot of resentment with certain things. And when I realized that, yes, certain people were treating me poorly, but I was allowing it to happen. And so I would be angry at people for treating me less than, instead of taking accountability for my part in that, addressing situations, and then, I hate to say like set boundaries, whatever, but legit, stop letting people treat you that way. Like, it just is what it is. And that has made my life so much better. Alongside just like, I stopped consuming so much content that was about that kind of stuff, because I think that can also be very depressing. Sometimes it can be very comforting when you need it, yes. Monitoring and just really being particular about the content that I consume has also been so helpful. I still will find myself like spiraling on the internet and just like doom scrolling, but in general, I'm so much better than I used to be. And I think that really being intentional with what I'm consuming has been transformative for me. Any like self-help type of content, I monitor how I take that in. So whether it's self-help, like kind of just like the topics that we're talking about right now, where it's like mental health and stuff like that, I can't consume that very often at all, because I find that it just makes me reflect too much and overthink and be like constantly inward. And like, I don't want to be like that. I think if I like ruminate, which rumination is a part of depression, if I ruminate too much, it will just lead me into a depression. Even if I'm like having a good day and I just start to like say like a mental health thing comes up on TikTok, and then I'm like, oh, I do that. I wonder why, blah, 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 blah. And then it like goes down this spiral. And same with like health and wellness content. That was like a huge thing for me, because that was content that I loved to watch. I love to consume anything, like a what I eat in a day, workout, stuff like that, because I love that kind of stuff and I still do love that kind of stuff. However, consuming that content made me overthink and second guess myself and not trust myself. And so I always felt like I was doing the wrong thing. And then I was always doing what everyone else was telling me to do, these experts on the internet. And yes, they are probably all of them are experts, or not all of them, but you know what I mean? Like, there are lots of experts on the internet telling you what to do, and they all contradict each other. And I think that a lot of that is because we are all so different, and what works for you is not going to work for me. And I just found myself changing what I was doing so frequently because I was watching all of this stuff on the internet, all these experts telling me to do XYZ, and it was all different from each other, and it made me feel like shit. And it made me not trust myself. It made me second guess everything. And then I just would spiral and I just felt awful. So I stopped consuming all of that, went inwards and figured out what I wanted to do, what was going to make me feel good. And I feel amazing. And I feel so much more at peace with all of that. And I feel less confused. So if you feel that way, I would try just like not consuming health content because, or like if you like related more to like the mental health part of it. Sometimes I just think that we have so much access to information, and I've mentioned this before, and some people didn't like what I had to say, but I don't care. I don't think that we have the capacity to absorb all of this information, or maybe to absorb it we do, but I don't think that we are meant to. I think only God is meant to know everything that's happening in the world at all times. For me to know like what's going on in this country and what's going on over here and what's going on over here. We're meant to have community, but a small community. We're not meant, in my opinion, to know what Debbie Sue is doing in this location. And that's just one person. I'm not meant to know what all of these people are doing in their everyday lives. And I think that's like a really big reason for like the mental health issue in our world today. And yeah, all of that to say, limiting my social media consumption in general, but specifically mental health content and physical health and wellness content. While those are good things to consume and be knowledgeable about, I was over consuming those to a point where it was hindering me. And when I stopped consuming those things, I felt better. Yeah, all of that to say, I did that, and additionally surrounded myself with good people that uplift me and I uplift them, and it's just a positive situation. And I don't spend time with people that make me not feel that way. And I think I am thriving because of it in all areas of life. So thank you for asking. That was like the longest answer to that question. I'm gonna go to the NARS Dolce Vita blush. This is like my go-to lately. I love it. I think it's perfect for fall, but it's still kind of like pinky and rosy. It's so cute, and it's gonna be perfect for what I want to do on the eyes. I really want to do like a mauvey maroon, but smoky, and just kind of want to like do like more maroon vibes today. I'm gonna do my eyebrows and then I will be back because I can't talk and do my eyebrows. Brows are done, eyes are primed. For my eyeshadow, I want to use the Modern Renaissance palette from Anastasia. This is just like a staple fall autumnal palette. I just love it. All of the warms and cools in here. It's just gorgeous. I'm going to start with some neutrals, put them in the crease. Let's do a little bit of let's do some golden ochre and maybe a little bit of this one. Boop, boop, boop. Kind of mix those together and put them in the crease. Next question, someone asked, whenever I have kids, would I consider homeschooling? Absolutely, I would consider it. I would need to do more research. I know it's a lot more common now than it used to be, and there's a lot more, what's the word? Socialization that can happen. If I did that, I would definitely want my kids like involved with like other kids because I think that's so important. Both sides have very interesting arguments. Yeah, I don't know what we would decide. We would have to figure that out together, but it's definitely something I would consider. I also don't know if I want to like hang out with kids all day long. But then I'm like, well, do I want them hanging out with another adult? I don't know. You know what I mean? I can see the appeal in wanting to homeschool. Oh my gosh, I cannot believe how many questions I'm getting about Vlogmas, especially because I think I've only ever successfully done Vlogmas one time and it wasn't even vlogs. They were like beauty videos. Why do I think about it every year? Every year I'm like, maybe I'll do it. It's a lot. And now this isn't for everyone, but most people that do Vlogmas that I watch that do it are like, they have a team. They have someone that edits, or it's like a couple situation. And so the one person will edit while the other person like does the other things. So I'm just like one person show. I have been basically my entire career. I had an editor for a minute there. AKA 1 year, maybe it was 2 years that I had an editor. She was amazing, but now she doesn't do that anymore. And oh my gosh, I've tried to find a video editor. I hired someone one time. They charged me up the wazoo for the video that they edited, and they did a horrible job. When I sent them the footage, they didn't even sync my microphone to my video. Like, what did you think that file was? And then when they fixed it, at least from my understanding and like my experience editing for the last 11 years, if you don't do that and you make all of your edits, you have to start from scratch. So I don't know what she did, but when she went and edited, when she sent me the re-edited video, there were multiple times in the video where the clip was in there twice, but once with the raw audio and then once with the microphone audio. And I needed my video up, and I was just like, thanks. Paid her, edited it myself, because at that point I just didn't have time to send her like, hey, clearly you did these things wrong. Because if she had like looked at that video that she had sent me that she edited, she would know that like that is not professional work. And then there's this other company that wants to edit my videos so bad, but you guys, the cost of what they are charging is just like, I don't know who you think I am, but I am not. No, just no. Like, they would be making so much more money than I would even be making on my channel. Like, I don't know. And that's not to like say that it's not worth it or that their work isn't worth it. That's not what I'm saying at all. I'm just saying, like, for me, no. Like, you know, so anyway, all of that to say, I do this myself. To post a vlog every single day in the month of December, it's just a lot of work. And I love the idea of it, clearly, because I think about doing it every single year. But we will see. I think what I'm leaning towards doing is just keeping my schedule and trying to post between 2 and 4 videos every week. That gives you almost every other day-ish. I think that would be a better goal for me and something more tangible, something more doable. The main thing, too, isn't even the work it is to record the videos or edit the videos. To me, I can do that. For me, it's more about being able to have some privacy and feeling a little overexposed in a way. I tried that, I think 2 years ago. And like, it was just like, I don't know. I just felt like the only thing I wasn't showing you was like wiping my ass. You know what I mean? Like, so I need like some sort of like separation there, you know? I do not know what I'm doing with my makeup right now. I just kind of like went for it and I wasn't thinking, and now I'm kind of having regrets, but it is what it is. I used the Rare Beauty eyeliner in the color Compassion, and now I'm going over it with Love Letter from the Modern Renaissance palette. Which, it's beautiful, it's looking good. I don't know what I'm doing right now. Like, I did that before I finished everything else. What am I doing? Okay, I'm going into a little bit of Venetian red. I'm just kind of smoking out this outer area. Actually, this whole thing needs to get smoked out. Let's do that. We will see, but I've been loving vlogging. I actually got a question asking, will you post more vlogs? Girl, I just looked. In the last 7 days, I've posted 5 vlogs. So no, because that's a lot. Do you watch Dancing with the Stars? If so, who's your favorite professional dancer? Yes, I am watching Dancing with the Stars and I'm loving it. I think that this is one of their best seasons yet. I'm hooked, and there's so many people that I love on this season. I think number 1, it's Alona. I'm just obsessed with her personality. I'm obsessed with her and Alan's partnership. I just love them so much. But very close second, in my opinion, is Steven. I just love his personality so much too. And if either one of those two won, I would be very happy. I'm also voting for Danny as well, but it's not even so much that I care if he wins. I just love Whitney. I love her choreography. I love her personalities. Aside from skincare, would you consider aging gracefully and naturally? No injections, surgical intervention, treatments, why or why not? I would absolutely consider that. I feel it's funny that like nowadays, like that's even a question. Right now that's the plan, to just not do anything. At the same time, I can very much so see myself getting Botox at some point, potentially a facelift when I'm like 55, I don't know. But yeah, I don't know. To be honest, like I just can't plan for that because I don't know how I'm feeling right now. I'm happy with the way that I look and I don't feel like I need anything. However, I do think about Botox because in my like brow like furrow region that will get more pronounced, but I'm just very aware to not like sit in that position. I don't even want to do it right now because I have fresh makeup on and I feel like it's gonna crease. And it's so funny though that you ask that because I recently had this girl comment on multiple videos just like accusing me of getting Botox and just being like, wow, good, I'm glad you finally got it. Almost like in a passive aggressive way. So thank you for thinking that I got Botox because I didn't. And it's so funny because right before she commented that, I was looking at my brow furrows and I was like, maybe soon, maybe I'll get that soon. And then I saw that comment and I was like, I'm good. I'm good. She thinks I got it. So if it looks like I got it, then there's no point in getting it. Because number one, I'm sure that shit's expensive. And number two, it's like a toxin. I think people like forget that that's like an actual toxin. I say that and maybe I'll get it tomorrow. I don't know, but as of right now, I haven't gotten it yet and I don't have plans to. I'm just kind of like living day by day. What are your thoughts on Ozempic and the huge focus on weight loss? I'm in recovery from an eating disorder and the weight loss is everywhere. Influencers, celebrities, and just everyone. So I want to start off by saying that I'm really sorry that you're suffering and I think it's amazing that you're like in recovery. I know it's got to be so difficult, especially with all of that like everywhere. That has to be really hard and how you're feeling is very valid. However, I do feel like we have swung the pendulum from one side all the way to the other to completely unhealthy. One thing that I don't think that people have really considered until recently, and I think that this is why Ozempic has become so popular, is 50% of the United States is obese. I think that word just gets thrown around so much that it's just become normal. And I also think that like with the love yourself and love your body movement, being obese has become just normalized and being overweight has just become normalized. If you are obese, you're more likely to develop heart disease, stroke, type 2 diabetes, certain cancers, digestive problems, sleep apnea, osteoarthritis, fatty liver disease, severe COVID symptoms, like so many other things. And it's crazy to think that literally 50% of the United States alone is obese. So all of these things go up. A lot of those health risks can cause death. I know that like seeing people talk about weight loss and all of that can definitely be triggering. And so I really encourage you to kind of like what I was talking about at the beginning, just really be attentive to the content that you're consuming online. Because at the end of the day, it really is our own responsibility of what we're consuming. Yes, things can like be thrown at us, unwillingly. That is the internet. With the focus of weight loss being so prevalent right now, I don't think that that's a bad thing. I actually think it's a really good thing. With half of the population being obese and being unhealthy, because being obese, number one, is unhealthy. Weight loss talked about more often now, I do think is a good thing. Now, my thoughts on Ozempic specifically, I really don't know a lot about it. I am hearing both good and bad things. So I don't know. I think if someone wants to do it, more power to them, especially if it helps them lose weight if they are very overweight. I think that is a good thing. I think developing the good eating habits along with that is also very important. So I really hope that whoever's prescribing these medications also get the patients hooked up with a nutritionist or someone to help them with those things. So I definitely see it as a good thing. I think that a weight loss like movement was needed because we had just kind of like glorified being overweight and unhealthy for so long. Now, at the same time, I do not think that we need to be swinging back to the other side of things and glorifying and glamorizing being super thin and skinny and unhealthy, because that is also unhealthy. These are two polar opposite things that are equally unhealthy. And actually, I think like what I had touched on earlier about how I personally stopped consuming like health and wellness content and even like mental health content because it started to like affect me. Maybe that's a good option for you because it is out there. And maybe even putting like some sort, I wonder if there's like some like restrictions that you can put on your phone and stuff. But I don't know, some of that stuff you just can't not see. And we have to like learn how to live through life without, not necessarily without being triggered by something, because that's, I think, impossible, but how to take that information and what to do with it. Because yes, like while viewing stuff like that is unhealthy for you, it wouldn't be for someone else. You know what I mean? So yeah, I can definitely see how that is very difficult. But at the same time, I don't think that talking about weight loss and talking about Ozempic or being on Ozempic or doing all of those things is a bad thing. I'm gonna grab Teddy from MAC and put this in my waterline because this is a little bit softer than what I used for my wing. And I want it smoky in here, but I don't want it like too dark either. So this is like a brown, but it has like a purple hue to it and a little bronzy. Okay, I'm taking that love letter color and bringing this underneath just to add more pink to the eyes. I'm gonna curl my lashes for mascara, and then I'm gonna coat them the YSL Lash Clash mascara. For my lashes, I'm gonna use the Ardell 422s. Tell me a random fact. I am very picky about how I eat my takeout food at home. It is so specific. So for instance, if I get, say we're getting Panda Express, if I keep it in the styrofoam container, I need to eat it with a plastic fork. I can't grab silverware. Like if they forgot to give me a plastic fork, I need to grab a plastic fork to eat out of the plastic container. Same with ice cream, like Baskin Robbins. If I have my cardboard cup, I need my plastic spoon to eat with the cardboard cup. If I don't have one, I would rather take that out and put it into a glass bowl and eat with my silverware because I don't know what it is. It's not even like a sensory thing. It's not that. It's just like I want it to feel like I'm eating takeout, you know? And if I don't have the correct utensil, I want it to be in like a glass bowl with a normal spoon. You know what I mean? I'm very, very picky with that. That is a random fact. Another random fact, which I didn't know I did this, but Ruben always makes fun of me for it. A little inside joke that we have, but I love to taste my water. I can't just like take a sip of water. I sit there and like gulp and taste it and just to be honest, I've never been told that I taste my water, that I drink my water weird, except for him. Like he told me that, but he also lives with me, so I'm sure he knows more than anybody else. But he also just like sucks it down, just like it's just like down really quick, where I take my time and I like to sip my water and taste it. Like I love the taste of water. I know some people hate the taste of water. I love water. It's so refreshing, and I want it to coat the entirety of my mouth before I just drink it down. I don't want it to just like go right to my stomach. I want it to like be in my mouth. What happened with planting your flower seeds? Honestly, time got away from me. I had planned on doing it, and when the time came, lots of other stuff was going on, and then I still could have June or no, it was like July by the time I was like, oh yeah, I should do that. I was over it. I was like, I don't even care anymore. We'll do it next year. I also have this really bad habit of like talking about my plans before doing them, and then it makes me feel like I've already done it. So I need to stop doing that, and I am working on doing that. There are things that I have thought about sharing and then I don't, and then I've done them, and it feels very rewarding. I find that I will do things more if I just shut my mouth and do them. So that was part of it too. But yeah, I honestly like just time got away from me, and then by the time I'd like had time to do it, I just was over it and decided not to. Next question is, what TV shows am I watching at the moment? I love knowing what people are watching on TV. Currently, we just started The Perfect Couple on Netflix. We didn't have Netflix for a little bit there, and I just got our subscription going again because during this time of year specifically, they've got good stuff on there, like for fall and coming like into the holiday season, so I wanted to have our subscription up again. But yeah, we're watching The Perfect Couple, which I think it's only like 6 episodes, so that'll go really quickly. I did just finish, is the name of that show, Nobody Likes This, Nobody Wants This. I think that's the name of it, with Kristen Bell and Adam Brody. I loved that. That was very sweet. They're also watching Grotesquerie. That's actually really good. I mean, if you're into like American Horror Story kind of thing, it's like really gory. We're watching Only Murders in the Building, but you guys, I think that show's so boring. I don't know. I like it for the vibes. Like, I love the music, I love the intro, and I forgot what season we're on, but like, I've been watching it for the last couple of years every fall. So like, I want to keep watching it for that reason, but it's just like every time I just like want to fall asleep while watching it, and it's only a 30-minute episode, so it does not have my attention. By the way, I just used chai from Anastasia. I'm gonna grab a little bit of malt, which is a little darker, and just do the outer edges. I'm gonna grab the Merit Lip Oil in Taupe. That is pretty. I'm gonna set everything with the Vive setting spray. I'm gonna finish off by putting on my Aurora Huggies from Miranda Fry. These are just like my new go-tos. All right, and that is the look. Let me zoom in. So this is what the look turned out to look like. I really love the way that this look turned out. I love the lip combo. I just feel like it's very, just very fall. I really like these eyes. They're just like a cranberry, but not too much. I feel like this is like a wearable smoky eye. But yeah, that's everything for this video. I didn't get to all of your questions. Maybe we can do another Q&A pretty soon. I feel like it's been a while since I've done just like a chatty get ready with me while answering your questions. If you want another one, thumbs up this video and let me know down below in the comment section. And also let me know what you're excited for the Christmas season. I was shocked at how many Vlogmas questions I got from you guys and how many podcast questions I got from you guys. So yeah, let me know actually for both of those things, what you're excited for, what you want to see, give me some ideas. But that is it for today. Thank you so much for watching and hanging out with me. I hope you're having a wonderful fall. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon.